What up, Ed?
What up? What up?
There's Ed. There we go.
Already burping on the show. Perfect. They know the rules.
We didn't send you a 14%er this time.
All courtesy ain't common.
Heard, chef. Heard.
I think he's trying to choke us out.
Yeah.
He just left it there.
That's a WWE.
I'm gonna have to do this. I gotta go pee again, bro.
He thought his phone was a beer can.
Oh, already.
I've already peed.
Already breaking the seal.
Seal breaker's a deal breaker.
This is
Right? Already early.
Anyway, we ready to do this?
I think we should start this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's do it.
let's
Let's
go.
do it.
Beers with Nigel is poured for you by Dire Oil Graphics, promotional products and design. They cover your brand bumper to bumper with graphic design, promo products, and print. See what Dire Oil Graphics can build for you at direoil.com. That's DYEROIL.com.
We are back with the daddies, the podcast daddies.
Welcome to Beers with Nigel. It's a podcast about beer and other stuff.
Or other things. We don't know.
I'm Nigel. That's Nick over there. Welcome back to the show. I mean, they got so many names. Ed and Day and the Burgh, Drinking Partners, the founders of Barrel and Flow. I mean, should we go on? These motherfuckers is famous.
I think that's all the names.
Yeah, you
I don't
Oh my God. Look,
Father.
Podcast fathers. What is up? What is up?
What's good with you, gents? I want to start off this episode by saying that while we can't say it officially or legally in some regard, and we might even lose it for saying it, but we are the #1 brew festival in America according to USA Today. We just found that out today. We want to the first time in 6 years.
Yes.
First time in 6 years, man. We've been #2. We've been #3. We've been #1 in your hearts, but we #1 in the books right now from a credible source. So shout out to everybody that helped us get up there to that #1 spot. And man, it's wild to even I mean, you look at it I think it might happen. And shit, it fucking happened, man. So we want to appreciate we appreciate all of the folks, because it doesn't happen without this community pushing and making it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
And you got a screen. Now you got to screenshot the email because you done went out and breached. they looking for something.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
You know I love a little breaking news on the show.
Hey,
they was watching that like the
cheers,
Trump
guys.
election.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, cheers to that. Nick, can I get a little bit of that beer? Son? A little bit of that.
Watching that like the Trump election. They're like, these dudes won Georgia. No way.
Well, as always, let's start off with what we're drinking. What you got over there, Day?
The homies over at Libco, Liquid Intrusion, out of DC, the DMV area. This is a south of DC cream ale. It's delicious.
Yes.
Beer flavored beer. It's reasonable. I know where I'm at. You know what I mean? So I want to be reasonable this year. But it is black owned for those that don't know. Libco, yes. Black owned brewery. I met them 2021 at Barrel and Flow. It was like the bottle share.
That was the bottle share.
It's like the bottle share. And it was like wrapping up. And I had you feel your palate's burnt and you don't know what the fuck is going on. You just try to get to bed. And he was like, yo, I got this. He had this cooler and he just pulled out and it was like, yo, try this. It was this lemongrass Saison. And I ain't even gonna lie, man. Saisons could either be nice or they could be bunk as shit. You know what I mean? So that's a bold thing to be I just pulled this grassy shit out of my basement, out of my cooler at the end of the night. You know what I mean? But it held up. It was fire as shit. And then the very next year, they did a 3-way collab with Mac Brewing and Crafted Culture out of Columbus. And this year, they're paired up with Ultra Genius, pouring again at the festival, man. So Shout out to those folks down there in DC doing the damn thing. And looking forward to seeing them August 12th.
Yeah, may the liquid always prevail, as they like to say.
Look, there are a million great stories that come out of the festival every year, but that is one of my favorites is their trajectory.
Ed, you got a beer over there?
Oh yeah, well I'm keeping it local. We got 11th Hour straight out of Larryville.
Great brewery.
Got the Sour Series. Cheating. I'm fresh out the gym. I'm only drinking a beer because I booked it, so it's like
you're supposed to
have a beer. Well, listen, you gotta fresh out the gym. You gotta drink water first, and I skipped the water, went straight to something juicy. Sour Series.
There's plenty of water in that beer.
There's enough water in there. You're fine.
Yeah, heard.
See, that's why y'all could only be acquaintances. If y'all are friends,
Look,
y'all negating everything I worked on.
It's too many years now. We're not acquaintances.
Get that protein.
Yes.
Factual.
Don't beer got protein?
Yep. I mean, some of them.
Sure, why not?
Beer can have everything you wanted. It has everything you wanted to have in that conversation.
We got a couple of beers. We shout out to Sand Hills Brewing in Kansas. Got their Kingfisher German style Kolsch. And then we shout out to Stockyards Brewing. We're just on the podcast. Cerveza Royale.
Cerveza.
Great yard beer.
Yeah.
Got the Spaniels in Kansas City. Are the Spaniels out there?
Yes.
I don't know the demo of Kansas City. I ain't never been there. I got to shoot down there.
They got a little bit of everything.
We got a little bit of everything.
Y'all is like close to Mexico. Like y'all could escape there.
Just hop on the train.
Is it?
No, it ain't close to Mexico.
It ain't close to Mexico. It's closer to Pennsylvania.
That's what I'm saying. We're closer to you than down there. There is a Mexico Missouri, though. There is a Mexico.
Damn. My geography is all fucked up.
I mean, that's probably not your strong point, homie. And I'm just saying it's fine.
Like you can't.
Wait, hold on. This can got a map on it. What is this can a map of?
That's the DMV, homie.
I don't think
it doesn't have Kansas City on there. There's no Kansas City on a Kansas
map.
That's not from Kansas City.
It's not Missouri or Kansas City, Kansas.
But Kansas City.
I thought it might see like a sign.
Wait, which
Kansas
state? Which state is that brewery?
This way to Kansas.
Which state is the brewery in?
This is in Kansas City, Missouri.
This is Missouri, all right.
Yeah, we got one. Yeah, and this one. One's in Kansas.
General rule of thumb: most of the
I can tell by that bird. That label is very
all their cans have the birds of Kansas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they got some weird shit on their cans. Weird, like there's that bird in Kansas. Apparently.
A state like Kansas got to focus on its birds.
Y'all don't take this from a man from Ohio, man. Y'all just
Ohio is lit.
It is, man. Y'all don't, like for some weirdly, Ohio might have the highest concentration of black-owned breweries in the country. Maybe Illinois. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, because some of them is like in Gary, Indiana. So like, Ohio might got the crown, man, which is kind of crazy.
I don't know. When we talked to Liquid Intrusion, they said based on the number of black breweries in the DMV, they were up to like 3%. You're saying
but DMV don't count because that encompasses 3 states or 2 states.
They try to do a whole. They like
state, sir.
all over here, like in this general vicinity.
They got a time zone. They like this time zone. That's not fair. You can't do that.
Hey, you gotta get your props where you can, son.
You gotta take your wins where you can.
That's what I'm saying.
They got 12 borders. You can't have 12 different borders and be like, well, technically.
But you know, this year at Barrel and Flow, you're getting the first black-owned brewery in Missouri. Vine Street Brewing is coming to town. Yes, sir.
Shout out to Vine Street, man. Yeah.
They're coming in hot. Wait till you meet Woody and Kemet.
Oh Lord.
That sounds like a duo. Woody and Kemet is a duo that's supposed to be famous.
I wish, because Kemet's a musician. I'm like, bro, why didn't you get on the stage to do some shit, bro? He's nice with it. I don't think this is their first year, so we've kind of hipped into the game, and we're like, you motherfuckers have to come. What are we doing? So they're going to show up. They're going to show out. They're bringing some beers. It's going to be Kansas City's coming. We're bringing the whole crew this year, son. It's coming.
We're kidnapping somebody, throwing them in the back of the car on the way out. So it'll be great,
bro. We even crowdfunding the whole trip.
That's right.
We're getting hustle on for this year.
Yeah, and I mean that's like the beauty of the community that like people don't fully understand is that like this is a bunch of like it was our festival for a year.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was a community. You know what I mean? And like folks is gonna do what folks do. So we really just be trying to keep up. But at the end of the day, folks is doing like all these different collaborations and like like endeavors and initiatives and like just and like the networking and the connectedness of it, like, you know what I mean? Like these conversations and this community building and this movement is happening beyond just that couple of days in Pittsburgh. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, that's why like, I appreciate like being a part of that because like, yeah, we have a little like get together every year here, but the work is being done year round worldwide. You know what I mean? So, shout out to y'all, man. And like, yeah, I'm excited to have Vine Street in because this is the first year they're going to be here. You know what I mean? And they're like they're major.
Oh, bro. In Kansas City, bro, it's, it reminds me of like Crowns and Hops, right? Where, it's the brand is there. You know what I'm saying? So everybody knows about the brand. And once they've only been open for like a couple of weeks. And it's been, Nick's getting up. What's the problem?
He don't like it. It's some feedback coming. He don't like it. He
you think that's me?
I don't know who it is. He gonna be able to identify. He's a professional. But I would just to what Dave was saying, like
this community. Bro, what are you doing? Go ahead.
You stop recording.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's a festival. I think what's dope about this festival is like it's a festival that you can affect. It's not just a festival that you can attend. Like you can literally have like you can put your imprint on it, whether you on the beer or collaboration side or folks are just coming through. We got a bus coming from Ohio that they, you know what I'm saying? My people just like, yo, we coming down. We're turning into like just a weekend of fun centered around the festival because they've been here and experienced. And I'm like, yo, y'all need to pull up. But just imagine, like, we're planning a trip around the festival and we come in, and, Ohio, we was talking about how great we are. You know what I'm saying? We come through strong. Yeah, I mean, so a busload of 50, 60 black folks with discretionary income is trouble. You know what I'm saying? They coming down, about to cause all types of mayhem. But again, they're not just coming to attend a festival where it's like everything is curated and you're just it's not like walking through a museum. It's like, yo, I'm about to come here and create a memory. You know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, I'm bringing the team down and doing what I need to do. So it's excellent.
Yeah. So what every year I've been is that as Ed likes to say, it's a vibe, but it's been different, right? What can people expect this year on the 3 days?
Not a damn thing. No, I'm fucking with y'all, man. No, but no, man, we in the same venue this year, man, which is dope. Like being in the same venue is like major because every year we've had to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. And
be like, yo, all right, you remember last year? All right, it's kind of like that, but different. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this is the first year where if you saw it last year, if you saw like the day of, right? Like you can kind of be like, all right, I know what's going to be, but we got thousands of people, right? We had 4,000 people at that festival last year. We got thousands of people who have seen it and then are able to get feedback on that location, on that festival in order to progress it even better. Like, oh, yo, this corner over here by like booth 57? Well, you ain't see this shit, but I feel like we could maybe do this with it. Da 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 da. And it's like, all right, cool, right? And everybody knows the game plan. Everybody knows like when to show up, where to show up, you know what I mean, or whatever. So like it's been pretty dope to kind of like plan the festival with the foundation being the same. And then with a good foundation, you're able to expound upon that in a lot of different ways. So like we got a new hotel that's closer to the city center. Yeah. We got like, you know what I mean, different collaborations and activations. After parties last year, you know what I mean, wasn't a thing. Like we had one, we got like 3 or 4 this time around, like, and we got like this steam tent
I was
that,
waiting
like,
on you was gonna take it there. I knew you was gonna take it
man,
there.
we got this steam tent where we get to, like, you know what I mean, we actually get to change like the industry in the way that we look at this product, and not just like as a means of getting drunk, but as a gateway to a $400 billion industry, right?
Right.
And it's like, you know, we have live brewing on site. You can taste the beer grain to glass. So we'll have the grains, the hops there. LD Carlson, more beer is going to be there. They're giving out brew kits, home brew kits. You can like sign up and get brew kits. They're going to be brewing on site. You can interact with the brewing, right? Throw some hops in, smell it, taste. Kids, right? It's interacting with the family. You can taste the wort, right? You know what I mean? Like, and then adults can taste it grain to glass. Like, they're going to have a beer that's brewed, you know, pre-brewed. They can taste it from grain to glass. Home brewed, and then Mindful Brewing is going to have the commercial version of that as well.
Wow.
So you can taste it grain to glass, and then from home brew to commercial, we got interactive arts and from 1028 Studios, interactive media from Warhol Academy, like, you know, digital arts and media and things of that nature, cameras and whatnot. Interactive science labs, the science of brewing from the Carnegie museums and science centers. And then we got job opportunities and education opportunities from like Point Park, various universities, and, you know, the Pittsburgh Brewers Guild and the Master Brewers Association. So from top to bottom, you're able to engage the entire family in an experience, live brewing, live arts, the various aspects of the industry.
Yeah.
Like, and we ain't even talking about like getting hammered. We just talking about like the knowledge that comes with that. And if you don't take that experience and say you like get into microbiology and you don't kill yeast for the industry,
right?
If you got introduced to microbiology as a result of a brew festival, we've done our job.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that like is one of the things that we're most excited about, but that doesn't happen unless we, one, have like that foundation where we can expound upon. And then two, we have this community that comes together, because if you look at the, you know, you go online, you look at the entities that it takes to bring this together, it's a whole, like, it's so many people, so many years, so many resources to bring that together. But, you know, like we're hoping that this catches on, not just with Barrel and Flow, but other places where you could be like, yo, let's not just these drunken lot fests.
Yeah.
How do we engage the community in meaningful ways that are going to benefit the next generation? You know,
were all those things, you know, the art, the music, the science, is that something you wanted to include from the beginning, or did it just evolve after the first one?
I think
we always been there.
Yeah, I think, and it's an evolution, right? Because in the first one, it's about identifying the community and feeling comfortable. You know, at least I can say from where we came in, it's like, yo, we're being pulled into this community, but we're also like the elephant in the room all the time, right? So now we're just trying to identify a group that we can kind of, you know, like-minded individuals that we can pull in and be like, hey, we can all party. We can do a reunion every year. And then now, you know, Dave was talking about, well, it's not just a drinking thing and whatever, but we do want to enable you, but we want to enable everybody's creativity, right? Across multiple fronts. So with the beer, with the labels, with the art, with the music, with just even with the steam, it's like, how can you take your talents and apply them creatively to an industry? Maybe you don't take this to the brewing industry. Maybe you take it to another industry, but it's just like the thought process behind, hey, these dudes was just drinking in a basement, interviewing whoever was like, but that drinking in a basement and those conversations, you know, became capillaries to all this other stuff because, hey, everybody's living life. Everybody's got interest. Everybody's got interest in like finding out something different. And then we're exposing people to the industry, right? Like people are being exposed to shit outside of just, yo, this is on the shelf. Oh, this can look fly. It's like, well, what went into that can? Okay. Oh man, this is like somebody that I know, old girl. She was at the thing I was at. That's her on the, you know what I mean? And it's just like, all right, let me get into it. You know what I mean? And like when I was talking about the bus trip coming from home, it's like, I don't know how many of those people are in the craft, or how many of those people are just Ed Bailey supporters, or people who just want to be at a festival, but like they're gonna come back with some memory. My mom's still talking about steak sandwiches that I can't identify who gave them like, from 3 years ago. I've been doing research on steak sandwiches that I don't know where they came from.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean,
But it's that type of vibe. It's that type of experience.
I mean, let's keep it real. That some of that food last year, Nick and I at some point, we got some food from this dude who was doing like some chickens, and we were like sitting on the curb, like
doing some chickens.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. Like, some chickens, man.
Chickens, man.
Look, we're from Kansas City. There was a barbecue truck
Yeah,
there
with some
last year.
chickens.
It was great.
I peeped at those chickens early in the game. I'm like, I'm coming back to see this brother right here for sure. And and that shit was fire. Okay.
You gotta be able to do something with some chicken because everybody eat chicken, even vegetarians. They eat a little chicken.
Little cheat days.
Nick,
like, but no, I mean, but that like the food is, again, like, it's a Black arts fest, right? It's a Black arts fest. Part of those arts is brew, right?
Hey, don't say that because they're gonna disqualify us.
Brown.
It's not a Black arts fest. It's a beer fest.
Why are you scaring my friends?
Like art.
As we just won #1 beer festival in the country. Yep. Not the #1 Black brew festival. I just want to. The #1 beer festival. But anyway, like, we are celebrating and that's what like Barrel and Flow. So Fresh Fest, it was Fresh Fest Beer Fest.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like everybody was caught up on the beer side of things, and it was like, a whole thing. With Barrel and Flow, it's anything in a barrel. And then from that barrel flows the creativity, all these other arts and shit, right? Yeah. So like we wanted to incorporate the culinary arts, the written arts, the the visual arts, all of these, the digital medias and things of that nature, right? The food that is not there by accident. We have intention when we're like, we want to make a space for like, Black folks in this industry, because you don't have one without the other, right? You don't have good booze without like some food around, because if not, then you're going to be out of there after a while. You won't be topsy-turvy, right? You don't sell anything without the visual arts, right? You don't, do any of this without the various small businesses that are in the ecosphere of the brewery, right? The accountants, the truck drivers, the things of that nature, right? So when we look at this or whatever, like we're looking at it from the, we're going to get together. We're going to have some drinks and whatnot. We're going to have a good time. But let's appreciate everybody here and make space for everybody to like prosper in that. And that's where the good food, man. We have some of the best fucking food at any festival in this city. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Like, and it's a concerted effort, like in order to do that.
Yeah, the food's not just an afterthought. The food it ain't just so you can have more beer.
Right.
We ain't passing out them pretzel necklaces. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You your shit if you want.
Yeah, but if any event you go to, right, no matter what's happening, there's got to be some libations on the side.
Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of shit happening with libations on the side, but then the libations are curated. You know what I mean? It ain't just like, just grab some shit to drink. It's like some drink that people put some real thought into, like wifey shit. You know what I mean? Like I got my wifey, she got something that she got going. It's gonna, you know what I mean? I seen it. It's gonna be nice, but it's just like a well thought out beer. It ain't just like here's an IPA, slam that. It's like, drink some creativity.
Hey, speaking of beer,
she brought the cookout beer in 2019, man. That's a fucking classic. We still talking about the cookout beer. It was like a barbecue beer, and there were like 3 versions of it. Yeah, I mean, it was like a mild, spicy, and like insane type situation or whatever. And like, but that was one of the it was what was it called? Like, for the cookout.
For the cookout,
yeah, man. That's still one of the and that was one of those because it was one of those beers that spoke to us, right? The flavors that we akin to or whatever. That and that cornbread beer, from Hitchhiker that year, right? I mean, shit like that.
That was crazy.
That sounds good.
Hey,
I've had a cornbread.
Hey, Nick.
Are you ready for a little?
I need a beer, bro.
Are you ready for a little mystery?
Yeah, I'm out of beer. Hold on.
Here's where they have an actual show. See, we was just
right.
Y'all got like a run of show.
It's not no actual show. I was literally out of beer. It's an emergency, and since I brought him, I get to grab the first one. I brought you something special.
Oh yeah? What'd you bring me?
It's called Daddies. It's called Dad's Pool Party Slushy. There you go.
From 903?
Yeah, from 903. It's for the daddies.
What
Yo, is that? Oh no, that's what was that one slushy brewery that was like 99%? I don't know. I'm probably talking about 500 breweries now at this point.
Yeah,
but it's not that.
These are the folks who started the slushy bullshit out of Sherman, Texas.
Yeah.
So you got to roll the motherfucker to get it. Otherwise you're gonna get some shit on the bottom. You're not gonna be happy about it.
There was this brewery. It was like a root or some shit, but it was like mad slushy, and it was like it was causing an uproar. And then they found out that they was lying about the ABVs on the can and shit. Yeah, where it was like, they were like, how is this even beer? You could barely taste the alcohol. But then they actually tested it, and it was like 1.3% and shit. Like, I mean, yeah, it was like, because it ain't nothing, it ain't nothing in it.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
That shit look, I need parts of that.
That's heavy right there.
Yeah, it looks like juice.
So what do they technically say that style is? It ain't just slushy.
No, well, you have to roll the can. You got to roll the can.
I think it's a fruited sour.
Yeah, it's fruited as fuck. So you have to roll, you don't roll the can, it's gonna be Pulp Fiction for your ass. I'm just saying.
That's tasty.
No, it's super sweet though.
And it's only 6.2 Dave, so you're fine.
6.2. I mean, to be honest with you, man, if I'm gonna drink a slushy, I want it to be like 9.3. Like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it all the way. That's because I'm only gonna have one no matter what. Yeah. So like, I mean, I'm gonna do that. But I guess a 6.3 could crush a whole one. No. A 9.2, I'm gonna split it. Right.
It's almost, and I'll drink anything. That's too goddamn thick. Just gonna call it that.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know about the whole can. That's a share beer.
Because it's
a share beer. Yeah, so I'm saying if I'm gonna share beer that, then 9.2 me, right? Let's just get it all in. Let's do the whole thing, right?
Yeah. So hey, let's talk about Friday. Obviously we know about the bottle share on Friday because we know
that is the most magical night of the year.
That's legendary at this point. What kind of things are we doing? Because last year, between the documentary and the ladies from Sam Adams, it was an epic day, man. What can we expect on Friday? Yeah. What can we expect on Friday?
Oh, you talking about the conferencing?
Absolutely. That's happening.
Yeah, no, the conferencing. So we try to mix it up with a bit of things for consumers and folks in the industry, right? Folks looking to get in the industry adjacent, right? So the one room, we got a lot of like small business incubation. Dollar Bank is presenting. They're gonna do some talks on like financing. Like how to, as a small business, how to work that going from your basement to a brick and mortar. We're going to have the Pittsburgh Brewers Guild that's going to be there to talk about how to utilize social media effectively, in your branding. They're also going to do about like community, how to connect effectively with your community, because a lot of people see what we're doing as like charity, and you don't make, again, the #1 brew festival in America through charity, right? It's because of economics. So like, and we do that through mutually beneficial relationships, effectively utilizing community. So they have a discussion on that. There's a bunch. I have had a couple of these. So barrelandflow.com/flow is the link and whatnot. But we got 14 speakers coming out, 15 I think, with Dollar Bank coming in. So we got 15 folks coming in, ranging from mental health, small business incubation, community activation, just some fuckery. Me and Ed will be there with the podcast. We don't even know who we interviewing, but we won't be talking to folks. And then we typically bring somewhere
on the stage with you. We're fine.
And typically we're looking at about like 2 to 3 kegs of brew throughout it. So come get your drink and your learn on. and network. I mean, because there's a lot of like big folks come in, like the Friday is really the networking side of things, because like whether you're listening to something or you're just talking to people in the room, there's a lot of players in the industry and adjacent to the industry that are in those rooms that like those are where the real deals kind of like, the conversations. Right. It's harder to have those, like if you're an industry focused individual, it's harder to have that when there's 4,000 people around.
Right.
But when you only got like 400 people around, you're able to have like real conversations and like really get, and that's where for us, it's a networking, and we built that as a whole weekend. So come get your learn on or whatever, but get your network on as well.
Yeah. My favorite part of last year, we rolled up, Ed, we were hanging out in Ohio on our way to Pittsburgh.
Matic in Dayton and then stayed in Columbus.
Well, we don't really.
I got to
Dayton is, is somewhat Ohio.
Well, we went to El Matic.
It's Ohio. Okay, El Matic.
Was dope.
That's what I'm saying. It's Ohio-ish. El Matic brings that Ohio.
That's awesome.
You hang out at El Matic. You don't hang out in Dayton.
Heard. Got it. He can still hear us. He's got an earpiece.
We can get the day P.
So maybe. So Friday was we rolled up to the hotel, and who was out there smoking a cigarette? Stacey Aye from Rock Leopard.
Word.
And let's keep it real. He, we met him basically on Twitter. Basically, he came on the podcast, sent us his beer. But let's keep it real. He came to the United States for the first time to come to Barrel and Flow.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I think the excitement out of him, not just the trip, but like how excited he was and how engaged he was. You know what I mean? Because again, he felt like, and I think he came to the States the way we did like Fresh Fest 18 to 19, where we're just trying to identify or find some like-minded people. He just wanted to be around some black folk who was into the industry. And then you become overwhelmed with just how much you can do. It ain't just a drink-a-thon and chill and get sloshed. Like there's the learning, there's the after parties, there's just the networking, the bottle share, which, obviously is everybody's second favorite part to the festival itself. The bottle share is like, but it's dope. It's just that energy that you feel. And to have someone feel that across, I don't know, however many time zones in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, and think about it. He convinced his wife to come with him. First time in the States. We're gonna go to a beer fest. that's
I don't know what I think if you just get me a ticket to go across the ocean, I'm gonna go.
Heard, but
man. So there was in 2019, there was this like Indian family, right? That was like just hanging out in the courtyard as we was setting up. And I come by and I'm like, hey, because like, we had to share it with like other businesses that were open. Right. So like, it was like, all right, I don't know if you guys are here for this or that or whatever. Yeah. I was like, oh, hey, we're setting up here or whatever. Yeah. Like, and he's like, oh, no, we're here for the fest. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Like, he's like, yeah. We like flew in from India to volunteer.
What?
I'm like, what? Yeah. He's like, yeah, we're like here to volunteer or whatever. So like him and his wife flew over with the family. They had like 3 kids, and like they flew over from India with the family. And then he took a shift and she took a shift.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And they took off like watching the kids and shit. And this was 2019. This was the second fucking year of the festival like this. I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, man, like, so that's, I'm sure they had some sort of Pittsburgh connections that like allowed it to happen. They had whatever, but it was just wild that somebody had heard about it and then traveled because, and it just showed me like, it's not so much to a degree it's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But it's also indicative of how few spaces in this arena there were, at least at the time. It's growing. Yeah. But in 2018, how few spaces there were that were even looking to be, to be inclusive. Yeah. And this was a black fest. It's always been a black fest, right? Like we have not shied away with this. Hasn't been a BIPOC or like a minority fest or a global majority fest. It's been very unapologetically black, right? I mean, let's celebrate blackness and then everybody come to the table to do that the same way we do at Oktoberfest, right? But like, but we were never like, you know, a separatist movement or like a fuck everybody else type situation. And when, you know, to hear like folks, again, when they saw that, I think that they were like, yo, look at these folks creating a space for us. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be more comfortable here than, you know, in those other spaces. And it just, you know, and again, when you look at the community that was like spurred since then, you see like that is a
been beautiful. Ed, your pictures are going to come out great in that dark room. Just going to say,
it did get dark. It got dark.
It's like a Missy Elliott video and shit.
He's like, oh shit, we on video.
Dark.
You ain't got no lights in your house, son?
I do got lights in my house. I didn't even realize that it got
video
dark.
later tonight.
Oh Lord, there you go. There he is.
I didn't even realize. I'm in
just chilling and shit.
On email,
we're lit as fuck, so of course we look great.
There you go. Y'all got studio lights.
We do now.
Well, you know, we got to go big time.
Yeah, we're trying to be like the podcast daddies.
If we want to get our faces on buses, we gotta
Hey,
I wouldn't recommend it, man.
We had to work hard for that. We had to do fencing. We had to fence to get on those.
Let's switch.
Oh, the smell, man. The smell from them motherfucking I don't recommend it.
Used fencing gear is crazy.
Like freshly used. Like
you motherfuckers.
Like they just left. We passed them in the parking lot.
I've seen that episode. Y'all cannot fence.
As a viewer,
no.
That was a fun episode to watch.
So we can't fence.
Let's talk about
ain't nobody stabbing nobody no more.
Yeah. Let's talk about Ed and Day in the Burgh. Let's talk about Ed and Day the Burgh, because that, you know, I've been pimping that show, man. I love it. How did that come about? And were you guys like, what the fuck?
Connectivity of community. Like, I mean,
was that something y'all wanted to do?
The thing is, you never know what you want to do till you try it, right? So when we get in the podcast, we just want to talk. We just want to have our voices heard.
Right.
We don't know. We invite anyone on. We talking to anyone. But by virtue of doing that, right now you've touched a bunch of different industries and spaces out here in the city. And so when they reached out, you know, via relationship, it's like, well, we have this idea for this show. You know, how does that feel? And we're listening to it. It's like, well, it's basically what we do on the podcast in the physical form.
Right.
We're learning about what you do, but now we get to do it. And
right.
So it's just like it's a graduation of what we bring to the table. And, you know, for some reason, Dan and I have chemistry. I don't know if we ever really like each other. Like this is the time of year where we start seeing each other more and we still getting along. And then we run away from each other.
I mean, like, cause that's the beauty of a good relationship is understanding, like, I mean, like fears and doses and shit like that, man. Cause man, I get sick of myself. Like, I mean, I wish I could take a break from my damn. You ever be like, you look in the mirror, and it's like, you again, motherfucker? Like, God damn.
Every day.
Go get on there. But yeah, right. Wherever you go, you right there. But yeah, no, man. I don't even. I just got up. So the shrooms is kicking in.
Yeah. Heard.
Would y'all do a beers with Nigel like in the visual form? Would you, like, even if it's just touring breweries or something?
Well, this is the funny thing about it. So I reached out to, when you guys started doing that shit, I reached out to today. I'm like, how'd y'all hook that up? Well, come to find out, you know, that Very Local is the Hearst Corporation, right?
Yeah.
Well, the motherfucker, and y'all have met him. His name is Clint Durrett. That's one of my homeboys I worked with in New Orleans at the Hearst station there.
Mm-hmm.
So when we saw y'all show, we were like, because we've had plenty of people tell us y'all need a TV show. All right, whatever. So we reached out to him. He gone. So we reached out.
He coming back.
The shrooms hit hard.
No goddamn shrooms killed his connection.
He gave him to his phone.
That's actually a perfect segue because I've got to pee, to be honest with you. So look.
You done broke the seal,
bro. I broke the seal like 3 hours ago, son.
You ain't shit no more.
No. Stand by.
Go to the loo.
I mean, thanks, Day, for the opportunity. This means you got to do a little bit editing.
Oh, there we go.
So wait,
Day's back. Nigel's out again.
Talk about yourself.
so Very Local, they're in Kansas City, right?
Yeah, this is her station.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
And the local programming here they put on their Very Local is not good. It's like a dating show.
Contractually, we can't say that. Contractually, we have.
It's great.
Hey, look, don't piss off the ones writing you checks, man.
You just haven't found the program that's for you,
Right.
but that's it's crazy. That's kind of like it was with craft beer. Like it was just like people would tell me I would craft beer, I don't drink beer, and I'm just like, look, man, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Before we start doing this, I didn't either. But you just find a beer that it vibes with you. You know what I'm saying? You find your flavor, your style, and you just rock with that. You can't just say you don't drink craft beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it tastes like too many things for you not to like any of them. Like, yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's just like, and again, like, even if you don't like craft beer or whatever, or all like whatever, like it's circular economics. Like, do you like money? Yeah, I mean, like whatever you drinking, that's the thing, right? Whether it's beer, liquors, kombuchas, we got all that shit at the fest, right? It's again, that $400 billion incorporates a lot of different like alcohols or whatever, right? Like at the end of the day, man, whatever you drinking, have you thought about where it comes from? And is there a way that you can like benefit from giving that company your dollars, right? You know what I mean? Like when I eat, when I drink, like anything that I buy, right? Like I'm kind of thinking like, can I source this locally maybe? Is somebody around me doing this? Like, yeah, I mean, let me just kind of like with the idea of thinking locally first. Now, sometimes I can't afford it. It is a luxury. Yeah, I mean, these are luxury items. So like, let's be clear in what we're doing. Yeah, I mean, but like at least that thought, because that's how it becomes more accessible. If you have the funds to support it, then support it. And then, shit starts to come down. Like our shirts, yeah, I mean, we had to buy in like littles. Now we can buy in little bulk, and we pass the savings on to you, right? Because it was supported locally, it was grown locally, and then we all share in the benefits of that. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, that's where a good beer tender helps you get there too, to find the beer that's for you. When Nigel pulled me into this, I wasn't a beer drinker. I'd drink beer if you gave me one, but I don't know what they were. I wanted bourbon.
Right.
I wanted rum.
We the same guy.
Yeah. There may be a bottle of the Uncle Nearest coming with me on this trip.
Maybe.
I didn't want to spoil it too soon.
So, we're bringing a lot of things. That's what we do.
that's a Uncle Nearest is going to enjoy that. They're a sponsor again this year.
Yeah,
Shout out to Uncle Nearest.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's already gonna be a bunch of Uncle Nearest.
That might.
Oh yeah, no, right next to the VIP tent. Right next to the VIP tent this year, you're gonna have Uncle Nearest.
Oh.
Right next to the VIP. So the VIP tent is sponsored by Angry Orchard. We got Sweet Little Eats doing the catering for that. And then right outside of that is Uncle Nearest Whiskey, and then the Steam tent, where you get all of these like arts and live brewing and home brew club boozes. And then you get to the rest of the festival. So
you gotta throw a disclaimer on the Sweet Little Eats, because it ain't just pastries. So,
okay.
Oh nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
She's
bringing the whole kitchen.
Pastries.
Okay, good.
Yeah, she bringing the whole kitchen. But on top of that kitchen is gonna have some. I mean, the pastry's gonna be fire as shit. But
I mean, I got a little hungry at the VIP tent last year.
No, the pastries have a proof.
They have a proof.
Yeah.
Let me just put it like that.
Ah,
The pastries
Yeah.
have a proof. So they might be made out of Uncle Nearest. I don't know. what
liquor
you're bringing,
cakes.
but
Ooh,
be
yeah.
careful with that. Don't
So-
Well, I'm
fill
gonna
up
bring
the-
out another bottle then. If Uncle Nearest is already gonna be there, I got to figure out another bottle to
just
bring out.
bring some local.
Just bring
Bring
yourself.
local whiskey here. They
That
do
should be the
take
name of y'all
They do
TV
take
show.
shots of Hennessy
They do take shots.
and Glenlivet.
Yeah.
Or
it
if
is.
you see
Love
what
it
they're
up.
drinking, you just get them another one.
Heard. So back to the show though. What's it been like for you guys to be on TV and see yourselves?
I don't recommend it. Like,
This is what I say. Season 1 to season 2 is a little different.
Why do you say that?
Well, I feel like season 1 that it was y'all
Playing y'all.
but season 2 I feel like you're being directed a little more. Does that make sense?
So what's odd about that is it's actually the reverse.
Really?
So with season 1, there was a lot more direction because we had no idea what's going on. Season 2 looks more polished because we know exactly what we try to do, and we know we're incentivized that if we deliver, we can go home faster, and we still get paid for a day.
yeah,
We still
yeah.
get
I mean, it's
all the
efficiency.
So
I think you're in season 2. You're seeing efficiency.
So
yeah, I mean, we like, all right. Yeah, I mean, because like some of them season 1 days was like, almost 16 hours, right?
What?
And then we would have to do 2 of those, like back to back, right?
No
so
shit.
it was like we ain't like, so season 2 was like, all right, bro, let's bong 8, 10, yeah, I mean, like 12, like whatever we got to do to get it out of here, and like an efficiency because we kind of knew our steps, we knew where we were trying to hit.
Okay.
We were just trying to, because at the end of the day, the show isn't, while we are the host of it, the show isn't supposed to be about us per se. It's about showcasing the folks that were, I mean, again, you look at the drinking partners, you look at Barrel and Flow, you look at Ed and Day. It's not so much about us, it's about a platform for other folks. So how do we get to that as quickly as possible and cut the fat out while doing so? You know what I mean? And that's where season 2 was.
Right. So we know how they're going to edit it. We understand that it's only going to be 22 minutes.
Yeah.
And so the first season, we're basically podcasting in the physical, right? We're doing physical shit and podcasting. But season 2, we just had more physical. Like, if you look at it, we have more physical, things that we were doing. So fencing, we were doing all types of shit. And so that cuts up a lot of the editing right there on our end, because we're actually just doing the shit, and then there's less conversation, so it probably just looks more polished, but
so
it also looks a little more erratic because we doing shit and reacting.
So because I love it, because you got, and I have to explain to people about Pittsburgh, it's all these little hoods, these little neighborhoods. I'm guessing you guys have been to neighborhoods you ain't never been to.
There's a lot of them. Look, don't put this on your podcast. There's some of them I ain't been back to.
Yeah. I think I've been to all the neighborhoods before, but I ain't been in them. Right?
Yeah,
There's a difference between I had to go pick up some shit somewhere, and like I just be hanging out there and shit.
Right.
Because a lot of these neighborhoods, are quote unquote redeveloped, gentrified, right?
Right.
So it's like, what we're trying to do in these neighborhoods is accentuate the folks that have like kind of been there or are doing good things in there, right? Because it's hard. A lot of the activities that we have in these neighborhoods, or the neighborhoods where the activities are, there's a lot of political, right? Any city, a lot of the gentrifications, a lot of the conversations, this, that, and the other, whatever. So how do we go into these neighborhoods and still remain true to ourselves? Yeah, I mean, in that, and a lot of that is in the pre-production. So we, the production team, shout out to them. Yeah, I mean, finding various places, and then even the relationship that we have with Hearst and the production team, where it's a conversation. We don't do shit that we ain't doing.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just, if you see it,
y'all would never do that shit. No.
Yeah. If you've seen it or heard it, probably we did it. You see what I'm saying? I mean, and that's just like, so there's that, but that's because it's a conversation. So we are able to kind of like have those, like, do this show in these neighborhoods, but really fucks with the motherfuckers, right? Yeah, I mean, and not just being like, let's go do this, like, Permanente Brothers, right? Yeah, I mean, you'll never see Permanente Brothers on this motherfucking TV show.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, that's just not how we roll. We don't do chains, right? We ain't in there at like, the Dave and Buster's and shit. Right? Yeah. I mean, like, we're trying to like big up the folks. So like, while we haven't been there, we do try to get to know the neighborhoods before we come. Yeah. There are always these different connections, and then we accentuate who we can in there. So
I'm gonna ask you guys both this question, because I'm being a television guy. Has anything surprised you about going on and doing a TV show? What has been like maybe a what the fuck moment?
What people watch it? Like, and it sounds, but it's you'll run into someone in a scenario or situation and you don't expect, and they'll be like, I was at we was at Arts the other day. We was at a local little hood bar, and a dude was like, I'd known him a little bit, and he was like, "Yo, I fucks with the show," and I'm just like, I ain't even know you congratulated dudes. Like, I didn't even know you were that type of guy.
Oh yeah, that's what you do, though.
You know what I'm saying? But like, you will just run into people and they'll say, "Yo, I watched it," and I guess that's when so you get put on the bus or whatever. It's cool or whatever.
That's my next question.
But you don't really realize. So you so focused on, damn, I'm on a bus. You're not even looking at the after effect of like, yo, people might look at that and be like, hey, what is that? And check it out. Or folks that you run into in the city, because I work in the city. When I work in finance, I've come across all types of people, business owners, whatever, through the fest, through comedy. So if they see your face, they gonna, you know what I'm saying? Even if they're not paying attention to your posts online and stuff, if they see your face on a bus, they gonna look at it. Yeah. And then it's like, all right, wow. And then like older people be watching it, older Pittsburghers, they want to make sure you repping the city right. They want to make sure you holding true to the Pittsburgh pride. So just people watching that shit kind of blows my mind.
What about you, Day?
Man, yo, they give us free gushers, bro. Like, and it's like, it's the god tier snack. And like, yo, thing. me and Ed got riders, right? So we get the riders or whatever, right? So we get like, so mine is gushers, pork rinds, spicy pork rinds. And then we get a juice box, and mine is the Honest Kids juice box, because them is, I don't know if you've ever had the Honest Teas or whatever, or like the little juice boxes for kids, the little Honest Kids juice boxes. Them shits is fire, man. So like every episode they bring it by, and we got like the producers that come by, and like they're only like one of their like the what is it, the assistant producer, the producers, the PA, the producer, the PA, like their only job is to kind of like watching what their job is, to kind of like as a runners or whatever, and get to like the gushers or whatever. But here's the thing though, right? It helps because you be in a mood, right? Because it takes a lot of like retake, like be here, hurry up and wait, right? And it's like long ass hours, right? So like you get moody. But then when a motherfucker come from the side, like, oh, you look a little, you want a gusher? You'd be like, oh shit, you know what? It ain't that bad. I mean, all right, cool. It's a little crap, like, or whatever. Yeah, I mean, so it's just right. So I mean, what is yours, Ed? What's your
my rider are Trolleys, gummies, sour worms. You know what I'm saying? The whole family love those, and the little Simply juices.
Yeah,
any flavor.
Y'all are children.
I have children.
Heard. Got you.
So I got to get home.
Yeah, that's right in your lane. That's it.
I'm gone for 12 hours. I come home with the Trolleys for the fam. I'm a hero. Now it went from he was gone to he's thoughtful. You know what I'm saying?
Look, always bribe the kids. When they're young,
it's the wife. The wife loved the trolley too. Because if you've been gone for 10, 12 hours, when you come home, she's on the couch.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
She right there when you come in. So you just drop the trolleys off right on her lap. Like, I thought about you.
Does she right? Does it really take that long to do a show? It takes 12 hours?
Nah. She pretty cool about it. She pretty cool.
Once she saw it, she was like, cool. It's an actual real show.
So here's the thing. There's a graduation from being talented to being the talent.
Yes.
And that's where you learn that on TV.
Yes.
When I'm doing a podcast and we just doing it in the basement, we're talented. People watch it. When you walk on a set and they're calling you the talent.
Yes.
And you just like, what? You want at first it's a little off-putting, like, yo, I'm more
absolutely.
I'm thoughtful, I'm intelligent. And then you start to see the perks that come with being the talent. You like,
this ain't bad.
These are dudes that, like these are dudes that like turned down my application a couple years ago. You know what I mean? Like now they're like they're excited to meet me. It's a different, man. It's a different flex. But
and it's weird because we're humble dudes though. Like I'm not carrying it no type of way. But they're kind of indoctrinated. Like that set runs a certain way.
Yes.
So when when you're the PA or you're the producer, because they've done larger shows, they've done widely syndicated shows, so they kind of know like when you're bringing on stars or whatever, you do have to cater to them. So it's almost like they're over catering to us because we don't really want much. Like, you drop the candy off, we good. Like, how many times you gonna ask me if I'm all right? I'm cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool, but it feels good. I ain't gonna cap.
Look, I just busted up.
We gotta take a little pause here for
a mystery beer. If you ever never had New Glarus, fucking, that's that what is it? What the fuck's it called? I don't even know. It's
where they out of?
It's Wisconsin. Here, you pour yourself. You can read that shit. I can't read that. God damn it.
I'm not down.
No. Going on the because I've been on both sides of that shit. This is a different animal when they start bringing you craft services.
Yeah,
you're
crazy.
Like, you gonna feed us lunch and pay us? Okay, heard. Sign me up.
And you gonna go pick up the lunch and deliver it to me and lay out my utensils. You don't have to do all of that. You just you got to learn to take it though.
That's just that way.
I keep an emergency set of pork rinds in my car. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It was just provided to me. It was a perk. I've never had a job that provided me emergency pork rinds.
No,
you know what I mean?
Hey, what was that beer, Nick? New Glarus. I think it's the.
So this is Serendipity.
Oh, Serendipity. It's
Happy Accident Fruit Ale.
Yeah, sir. It's red.
I like that word.
Serendipity. Yeah, it's serendipitous. Serendipitous.
I'm too old to see what the ABV is.
It doesn't matter because this is a podcast daddies. We ain't got to play the games.
We got regular folks, bro.
It's a precursor to Barrel and Flow. Let's talk about let's tell people when Barrel and Flow is.
August 12th. Well, August 6th through the 13th, basically. It's like Barrel and Flow week.
Yeah, that's
right. It ain't just a day no more.
I think next year I'm going to have to.
That starts on my birthday. Then.
Yeah, I think next year I'm going to have to spend a whole week.
Yeah, man. It's a whole week.
Proclamated. We getting proclamated on
it's Barrel and Flow week, isn't it? The proclamation from the fucking mayor and shit. Do you know about that?
Yes, I saw that. How cool was that for you guys? Because I saw that post and I was like, damn.
Well, it's not our first proclamation.
No, I forgot.
My bad.
It's fire though.
No, we had 2 days. The first 2 years we had proclamation. This is our first week though.
Yeah.
So I mean we get the whole.
I don't really know what it means because I'll be seeing proclamations for some shit that I'm like, is that really proclamatable? But we're proclamatable. We're proclamatory. We're proclamatory.
I mean, you could proclamate a sandwich if you want to. I think there's like a way to like a process, in which it can be done. But no, I mean, it's like it's nice to get a little bit of like. So a proclamation, I feel, just is kind of an one is history, right? It does kind of say this is a thing that happened in an official record, right? Yeah, I mean, we're all finite and like, or whatever. But like, it's more or less like the city you have the city support, right? And in doing so much of what we're doing with this fest, a lot of people don't understand a lot of the politics and red tape and a lot of shit that we have to go through in order to bring this festival together with all these folks from like these small businesses and alcohols and like things of that nature to bring it in, right? And a proclamation is kind of saying from the city, hey, we recognize that importance. We got your back. You know what I mean? So that allows me to say, when we're having various conversations with entities and there may be some red tape because we is black as fuck in, the not blackest place in the country, it allows us to say, well, call somebody and say, hey, can you look into this, or is there, like get a second pair of eyes on this in order to help us through? Because sometimes that second pair of eyes can, maybe reveal some shit
Right.
that the first set of eyes didn't see, a pathway through. You know what I mean? And that proclamation kind of helps in that regard. Right? You know what I mean?
And you get
way.
The proclamation, don't you get the plaque and shit? Don't you get some shit to show that,
It's like a scroll.
Yeah, it's like they print out a meme. It's like a printed out meme and shit, and it's like, you've been proclamated, like, you know what I mean? And there's like a dude with like he's like pointing his finger and shit, like, you've been proclamated. You know what I mean?
It's your name, proclamated.
It's an executive like
proclamatable.
It's like they hit the like, the government hit the like button. The government said I fucked with it.
This is the festival, right?
Is it 6 or 5?
6, yeah.
You're 6 of the festival. You talked about, creating space. You said you're unapologetic about it being, it's a black festival first, which is awesome. You make people like me uncomfortable and welcomed at the same time, which is really, really awesome. Do you feel like you're succeeding? Are you creating the space? Are you putting some dents in the wall?
Well, I think you all talked off air early about some examples of, individuals who've been able to grow, through the festival. And so those success stories are, I think, indicative of the success of the festival. I know, Day, you were drinking Liquid Intrusion. That story that y'all were talking. Windy City Bridges Brewery, like those sort of stories where you see someone who is technically outside of the industry or trying to find their way in, and they, incrementally grow within. So they go from, hey, try this thing I brought to the festival to, yo, I had an application that you approved to be a vendor at the festival. And so, there's no question that it's been successful, and it's the first of its kind, right? So it's the first of its kind. It's been allowed to go on and grow for 6 years. So anytime you bring something new to the table and people continue to fuck with it and continue to contribute, to continue to, add their voice to it, that's a success in itself.
And think about it, Nick. We talk about it every fucking episode. Yeah. And when we've done 90 episodes, I mean, to the point now, this year, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people who are coming because we've been talking about it.
Right.
So I think
they're tired of hearing y'all. They tired of y'all.
They're like, fuck it, we're coming.
God damn it! Would you guys shut the hell up?
But there's probably not a week that doesn't go by, especially if I'm wearing like a flow shirt. That's a conversation starter.
That flow shirt from last year.
It's a conversation starter.
A comment every time I wear it.
What's that? What's flow? I'm like, well, let's talk about it.
Well, let's. You got to do Day's rundown. Whenever somebody asks you, but I think again, it's that energy, right? It's not. It's the feeling of ownership. As we got Barrel and Flow, the Barrel and Flow shareholders, basically, right? You're not festival attendees, you're shareholders. You get to take a piece of that with you, and you carry it throughout your life because it meant something to you. It wasn't just something you went to and did. It was something that you experienced, something that you felt like you bring, like y'all are being excited about bringing a bunch of shit, which I think should be the title of your show on Very Local.
Bringing a bunch of shit.
But y'all just being excited about that. You don't typically be excited about that going to a festival. You're typically looking at a festival like, what they gonna do for me?
Yeah.
What am I gonna go there and see or experience? But y'all like, yo, this what I'm bringing. And it's half of thousands of people with that energy, like, here's what I'm about to do. It can't fit.
This is
so
what
you can't just take it this festival.
No, this is what
you gotta bring it.
This is what we're doing. So we're doing a crowdfunding thing, and so we're like, people who want to donate to us coming to Pittsburgh. We told them, I'm like, there's over 40 collabs, beers you cannot get anyplace else. It said you guys want to bless us on the trip. We're gonna bring you collab beer back. And we got motherfuckers who are like,
I did the maths. We're going to be buying over 50 so far of the collabs to bring back.
Yeah.
So y'all driving.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So
Ain't no flights with y'all.
we just learned like last year about Mike's Beer Bar had all the goddamn collabs. I was like, and we went there. If y'all ever ate there,
yeah,
man, we had a steak there last year, bro. On that
Right.
hot rock. I was like, goddamn, what's really going on at this beer bar?
Yeah. Shout out to Mike's Beer Bar. Shout out to all the retailers. We just got Whole Foods to distribute black breweries nationally. It's 3 years in the making that we got that to happen. But every black brewery that produces beer on this festival has a door to Whole Food shelves. Dope Cider House is going to be on shelves across Whole Foods all through Ohio, right? Like, yeah, I mean, Funky Town and like various organizations, whatever, nationally, 3 years in the making, man. So shout out to the retailers that like help to like, not just like, I mean, again, this isn't just about like us doing some party type shit. It's like, all right, how do we break these fucking doors down or whatever? And like, as Ed was saying about like, the participation, because I got to get out of here in a bit. But before I go, I just sitting with my man Brandon, and like I've known this dude for years. He has supported all the festivals. He was like, yo, I'm, he's an artist. He's like, he's telling me, he's like, I'm an artist or whatever. I was like, I didn't know you draw. He was like, yeah. I mean, like, he was like, you think I can get on the fest? Yeah, I was like, yeah, I mean, he's like, you think I can get on the fest? I was like, well, I mean, it's an application. I mean, you got to like submit it. You got to have like, websites and like work and this, that, and the other. We don't just like put people on to put people on, right? I mean, so he like got his shit together, set up, put his shit out there, whatever, got his Instagrams, and then came through, and he's doing a collaboration with Helicon this year, right? And like, he's telling me how he's like, invested. He's got like, he's already sold art. Like, yeah, I mean, like he wasn't selling art beforehand or whatever. And he was saying how like, he was talking about the festival and he had just been a supporter beforehand. He was telling his peoples about it. Like, yo, I'm coming to this festival. You got to come with me. And now he's like, yo, I'm on the festival. Yeah. You got to come see me. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that was a different, like relationship that he's had, I mean, and like the impact through that or whatever. So like, as Ed was saying, it was like, it's not just a festival that you go to, it's a festival that like, it's a community, right? Like it's a group of, it's a movement that you kind of join. I mean, like, in that shared, like, Black economic empowerment and, building these bridges. So, I do got to get the fuck out of here though.
It's all good.
I mean, but I do appreciate y'all.
When you become the talent, you start closing out other people's podcasts.
we forgot to send you the pork rinds.
Yeah. But you know what? We know it's a vibe. So on that note, how can people get a hold of y'all on the socials?
You still got the rundown in you?
Yeah.
We are the Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can catch us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Lipsync, Google, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. And you can find us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at PartnersPod.
Not on the thread?
On August 12th, you can find, or August 16th through the 13th, you can find us in Pittsburgh, PA, Barrel and Flow Week. On the 12th, at the Stature 3 Crossing at Barrel and Flow. It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
And go watch Ed and Day and the Burgh on Very Local.
We are on Very Local.
Yeah, get that.
I keep forgetting we did that thing, man. It's crazy.
When you talent and shit, that's what happens. You know what I'm saying?
You can catch us on episode 90. Is it 90? Is this 90?
This will be 94 or 95.
90.
Ooh,
94 or 95.
Be a hundo.
Yeah.
Hundo.
Nick, where can they
Congratulations,
find us,
gents.
Appreciate it. Nick,
Thank you.
Where can they find us,
You
Nick?
can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or most any of your favorite podcast apps, even if you got one of them, our Alexa devices. Hey, Alexa, play the Beers with Nigel podcast.
YouTube as well.
On the YouTube, yeah.
We should tell them don't hang up yet.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna hit the music. Don't hang up for a second, though.
Okay.
All right. Hey, thank y'all for having me.
You've been listening to Beers with Nigel, a show about beer and other stuff, hosted by Nigel Woodbury and that other guy, Nick Parker. Beers with Nigel is poured for you by Dire Oil Graphics, providing bumper-to-bumper graphic design, promo products, and print services. Find them at direoil.com. Beers with Nigel is a proud member of the Fredcast Network and is available on all of your favorite podcast flavors. Find Beers with Nigel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and ask Alexa to play the Beers with Nigel podcast.